Hari, Lamai, let's just wait for others to join for a while, like 1 or 2 minutes maximum. So, can you hear me? Just confirm me whether I'm audible. කතා කරන්න බා. Am I audible enough? Guys, මාව ඇහෙනවද?
ඔව් සර්.
ඇහෙනවනේ. Right. Good. Good. Let's just wait for right. By the way, how did you feel the workload in the last week? ගිය සතියේ තිබිච්ච workload එක ගැන මොකද හිතෙන්නේ? Was that too much or simple, or how was it? Can you just let me know? How was it? Lamai? So in the last week, we just did something you have never done before. Medium. Somebody said medium. Actually, my previous students, regular students, who has done and managed it really well, right? Who managed it really well. Only I had a problem with the newcomers. They were really kind of unable to catch up with it. But the problem is today my old students are the ones mostly missing. Those who don't know anything about the punctuality, unfortunately. Give me a 1 minute. Okay. Today we have two options. One is to learn the lesson, next lesson earlier, or to discuss the questions later. Firstly, we can try the new theory first and discuss the questions in the last week later. Or the other option is to discuss, start to discussing the questions beforehand and to learn the lesson, new part in the next week. Sorry, later. What did you suggest? I will just explain you that again in Sinhalese even. මුලින්ම අලුත් තියරි එක කරලා ඊය සතියේ ප්‍රශ්න ටික ඩිස්කස් කරනවා පස්සේ. එහෙම නැත්නම් ප්‍රශ්න ටික මුලින්ම ඩිස්කස් කරලා තියරි ටික ඉගෙන ගන්නවා පස්සේ. What would you suggest? ඔයාලා වැඩියෙන්ම කැමති කෝකටද? Let me know. හැමෝම I need everybody's option. මට ඔය කෝකත් එකයි. Okay. මට ඔය කොයි එකත් එකයි. Madhuri just joined. Sahas just joined. මම හිතන්නේ R1 R2 දබල තමයි පරක්කු. හරි. මට කියන්න ආපහු පාරක්. What shall we do? Shall we discuss the questions first then? මට හිතෙනවා questions ටික කරලා හිටියොත් හොඳයි කියලා යන්න. පොඩ දෙනෙක් ඉල්ලන්නේ questions මුලින්ම කරලා පස්සේ theory එක කරමු කියලා. හැබැයි Ananta Kumar, you also choose that path. So you told me that you have to leave around 11 o'clock. Otherwise you will miss theory. Somehow it doesn't work. හැමෝම කියන්න. කමන්ට හොඳ විදියක් බලලා කරන්න පටස් ගාලා කියන්න ප්‍රශ්න ටික නම් මම පටස් ගාලා ඩිස්කස් කරන්න පුළුවන්. That means you are at home today. Okay. Yeah. Shall we start to discuss the questions first? Do the questions. හැමෝම පොඩ්ඩක් මට හතුන් දෙනෙක් theory මුලින්ම කියලා. Okay, let's firstly do the questions then, and after going for the new theory, it's a certain accelerating theory part. Let's start. Okay. Yeah, good. So what are the forces acting on that? First one is the mass, and the weight is the force. Weight is equals to mg downwards. So this is the force, and there should be any upthrust, and the other one is going to be any resistive force, but we assume that the upthrust and the other resistive forces are going to be negligible in terms of the projectile, right? In terms of the projectile, we don't ever consider the upthrust, and the other force is called what? Air resistance and other types of resistive forces. Just ignore them. So finally, it will only be the weight or the mg effect downwards. How to know this fact? Right. So the next part, assuming all the assumptions you made, assume that the accelerating factor of the object falling under gravity is the gravitational acceleration for those falling closer to the Earth's surface. So that means this is going to be the question number 1 and part A, and part B is going to be that you have to show this again from this equation. Mg, the force is downward, and the other one is it accelerates downwards with an acceleration of A. So you can write like mg is equals to ma. You may cancel off both the forces, and you can find out the acceleration is directly g is nearly closer to the 9.81. Again, we can just assume like that one. Then ms minus 2 as the gravitational acceleration downwards. Got the point? This is how we may just assume the conditions for the first two questions. In the first question, in the first question, it's like mg downwards and the only force, and the upthrust is there, and the resistive forces are there, and the upthrust and other resistive forces are all acting upwards, but we neglect them. That means we don't consider the upthrust and the other part, only considering downward force as weight, and it's going to be equals to acceleration here. Other people's join who? Who is this Chanul Panandu? Nobody was calling Chanul Panandu before here. What the heck? Huh? Who is this Chanul Panandu? Let me know.
So it's my brother's.
Who you are then?
Rachali sir.
Rachali. Okay. You are joining by 2 devices here. By the way, what had happened to your twin?
She's not well, sir.
Oh, she's not well. Are you well at least? Good. So this is the part B. Okay. Right, let me check the question number 2. Explain how the velocity factor changes over time and fall an object falling freely and projected upward separately. So this is a very long and hectic part. I'm not having any interest to explain it right from the beginning for long. So it's just like simple thingy. When you drop it, I just explained, not going to. So you know the acceleration is gravity. So after 1 second, if the speed is going to be 0, after 1 second, the speed is 10 ms minus 1. And the second, it increased by again 10, 20 ms minus 1. And third, so t equals n seconds. N seconds, what about the speed now? V t equals to what? N times 10 plus what? Initial velocity of u. So that's how it changed. When you project something upwards, it's going to start up with u here in the first second. It's going to be u minus 10 second, but u minus 20 third second, u minus 30, like that. At peak, what about peak? V equals to 0. So this is how, and I just explained all these factors in the last week with all the explanations that I made. Right? Okay. So the displacement factor, I took this one really specially with some reason. You will find why after I show you all the results. Let me get it like here. Wait. සමහර ළමයි නම් හොඳට වැඩ කරනවා. So Kirtana sent me the answers even. So not answers actually. I sent her the works, last week videos. He wasn't there. So she has written her note. Really good. Written the note while looking at the video, watching the video. So that's the way how you should watch a video. You have to pause the video and write everything, study everything, and asked me some questions, how to deal with this. Even Netmi is really good. She asked me something like, how does this negative sign and positive sign changes and some problems. That's how you should watch the video. Just watching video will never help you. Okay, explain how the change of displacement for each second comparing a drop from a certain height, and it took some, oh shit, oh shit, how, should be 8 seconds. It's my bad. It's completely my bad. How did it happen? Somehow at the beginning u equals 0. So how does it change the velocity? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, and 80. Which time? 2s, 3s, 4s, 5s, 6s, 7s, 8s. This is how it changed. Right. But displacement factor, I told you certain equation to use. What is my equation? It's going to be, equation is s equals to ut plus half at square. For the moment of downward, so ut is 0, half into 10 into t square is going to be cancelling out this one and going to be 5. S is like 5t square. It's like 5t square. So for the first second, S1 is some 5 meters. S2, let's find, it's like 5 and 4. It's like some 20 meters. It's like 9 times 5. It's like 45 meters. So the next one, so it's like 5 times 16 is like 80. I have written everything in the wrong places. Shit. S5 is what? 5 times 25. Sorry. It's like 125. Next one is going to be 5 times 36. 180. $225. Yeah. 45, 245, and 80 is like, let's say it's going to be 5 times 64, 320. This is how it changes as it moves downwards. Right. Let me explain it with something projected upwards with a velocity of 80 meters. Right. In the ascending order, it is just going to be something different. At the beginning, u is what? 80. At the top, v is going to be 0. Right. The equation is going to be the same one. 80 times 1 minus 5t square. Right. 80 minus 5. In the first second, it's going to be some, after the first second, it's going to be some what? 75 meters. In the second, 100, 60 minus 20. Yeah. S3 is going to be what? 240 minus 45. $400 minus 125. Sorry, 275. It's my bad. 275. $245, it's like 360 minus 315. 315 meters. In the last one, S8, it's going to be like what is it? S8 is 620 minus 320. Wait, no. 40 minus 320. So, see this one. In the last second, it hit the bottom of 320. This reached the height of 320. You may see the difference here. In the last second, it has only traveled 5 meters. Whereas in the first second, it has traveled some 5 meters. It is analogous to each other. See, try to understand this. So, see this difference. Again, see 20. This difference you may find. Again, 45. So, this is how it changed. It is just analogous to what it had achieved. That's the same difference. What it was just going to get from the other end, right? This one, you can see that there is a difference of what, 75. So ascending also, it maintains some 75 at the beginning. This one finished with some 75 meters in the last second. This one started with 75 in the first second as the difference. Can you see it is just kind of what, analogous to downward motion and the upward motion? This is what I wanted to show you. Some of your students actually sent me this one really well, so I really appreciate them, right? I really appreciate them. So if anybody who couldn't understand this one and how does it change, just let me know. Hari. Hari neda? ඉතින් ගොඩක් කට්ටිය ස්ටඩි කරන විදිහේමත් වෙනස් කරලා ඇත්තටම මට මාර හැපි. සාමාන්‍යයෙන් D1 D2 මෝඩ් එකනේ මුලින්ම ඇක්ටිවේට් වෙන්නේ. මේ පාර T මෝඩ් එක ඇක්ටිවේට් වෙලා තිබුණා. I'm damn happy. So එහෙම තමයි ඉන්න ඕනේ. එක එක්කෙනා හැමෝම කලින් වගේ වැඩ කරන්න පුරුදු වෙන්න ඕනේ. හොඳට. Right. Obtain the possible equations can derive from motion under gravity. So I'm not going to derive these ones, right? Not going to derive at all. So I'm going to show you and remind you the basic equations that you obtain. So how you obtain the final most velocity? V final with the time is given. T final is also given. So you can apply to V equals U plus AT and just use it. U is 0. So what is the V final? 10. T final. That's it. And upward. When you throw something upward, what is the time taken to reach it up? So initially you send it with some velocity of U and it may reach to here with velocity of 0 and acceleration it is downward. So apply to V equals U plus AT. What was it? V equals 0. So T is going to be U over G. So for the return journey, you obtain the total time like 2U over G. You obtain these results. And to reach the maximum height, so the height is the H. So V square equals to U square plus 2ASTG. And V going to be 0. What is the height? What is the height is going to be? U square over 2G. මේ දේවල් අපි ගත්තනේ. ඉතින් මේක නිසා මම ආපහු පාරක් මේකම ඉන්ට්‍රොඩියුස් කරලා දෙන්න බලන්නේ නැහැ. හරි? මේක ඇති වෙනකන් කතා කරා ක්ලාස් වීක් එකේ. කාට හරි ඕනි කියලා හිතනවද ඒ හරි ආපහු පැහැදිලි කරලා දුන්නොත් හොඳයි කියලා. Is there anybody who needs me to explain how was these things change? How did these things change in the last week thingy? If there is anybody, just let me know. That's it. කාට හරි වුණා නම් කියන්න. මේක වෙනස් වෙන විදිය කියලා තේරුම් නැති වගේ නම් මම මුලින් ඉඳන් කියලා දෙන්නවා නැත්තම් ඕනේ නැහැ. මොකද I explain this one with all the possible variations. Now, very simple question. I just gave you the first question answer. Really simple one. A rock is dropped from a height of 20 meters. How long does it take to reach the floor? What is the velocity of the rock when it hits the floor? Right. Very simple one. What the heck? Everybody has done this. Everybody. හරි මම මේක කරලා ඉතුරු ටික නොකර ඉන්නම්. මේ ළමයිගේ network problem නම් සෑහෙන සරයි වගේ. Amanda and the other one is it Racheli නේ අනිත් කෙනා. Racheli නෑ. හරි. A rock is dropped from a height of 20 meter. Height of 20 meter. How long does it take to reach the floor? කොච්චර වෙලාවක් යනවද බිමට වදින්න? So Really simple one. You may apply s equals to ut plus half at square. Why? I will tell you why it is. Because at the beginning you have the velocity of 0. You have this one. You know the acceleration, it is 10. You have this data. And the final velocity you don't know. But the height as a displacement factor, you have 20. And the question asked was time. It's a question mark. So you have to consider about this one, this one, this one, and this one. So what is the only equation that satisfies all these together? This equation, nothing else. So the S is like what? 20 equals to 0 plus half at square. Right. Half 10t square. So this is going to be 0. So 0 and 0 can be cancelled off. T square is equals to 4 and t equals to square root of 4. T is nothing other than 2 seconds. It is 2 seconds. What is the velocity of the rock when it hits the floor? When it hits the floor. Make a floor eකට වදිද්දී යන velocity එක කොච්චරක්ද කියලා අහනවා. Your u is 0. You have to find out v. That's the question mark. Acceleration is 10 downwards. And you know the height. So you may just use what? V square equals to u square plus 2as. V square is like 0 plus 2 times 10 times. What is that? The other one? Wait. Square root of 400. V is some 20 meters per second. Really simple question. මේවා නම් වෙන විහිළු වගේ ප්‍රශ්න. මම එනකට මුලින් ඉඳන්ම යනවා. So I decided to teach you because you otherwise you won't understand this one. පට ගාලා යන්න මං නම් මේ ටික. හරි. Now let me explain you these things really faster than the previous. And there are some other questions. There seems to be something really new. Only those ones I'm going to explain like a very slow pace. Right? Only those questions are going to be explained really slower. All the others are going to be explained really faster. Harini? Equation for the A part, is that wrong? Definitely wrong. Let me, I told you, if you use s equals to 5t square, yes, you are available to use only for the downward motion. But this was a derived one from a main equation. On the other ප්‍රශ්නය ඇහුවේ මම සිංහලෙන් මොකක් කියන්නම් derive කරපු එකක් කීයටවත් මැදදී පාවිච්චි කරන්න එපා පුතේ. essay එකකට don't use self-derived one for an essay question. Never do this. But for MCQ, really available for you to use. හරිද? MCQ එකකට බය නැතුව පාවිච්චි කරන්න. But never use for any essay question. ඒක නිකන් suicidal ලා. Marks are going to release. කීයටවත් දෙන්නේ නැහැ. හරි? හැමතිස්සෙම stick to the basic. හැමෝටම හොඳයි වායි ප්‍රශ්නේ අහපු එක වටිනවා. මොකද ඔයාලා හිතිච්ච දෙයක් තිබුණොත් ඒලෙම අහන්න. ඔයා අහපු ඉඳන්නේ මම ඔය කිව්වේ සමහරක් විතර ඔයාගේ යාළුවෙක් ඔය වැඩේ කරන්න ගිහිල්ලා බේරෙන්නත් ඉඩ තියෙනවා දැන් මෙතන. හොඳ දෙයක් හිතට එන හැම ප්‍රශ්නෙම අහන්න. into air with velocity of 10 ms minus 1. How long does it take for the ball to return to its starting point? This one. So actually for MCQ, you may use this one. T is what? 2u over g. But for essay, you have to start with the basic. You may use this one. V equals u plus at or minus u and upward this minus u plus what? So gt, this one goes to there. 2u equals to gt, t equals to over g. You have to show whatever the way, right? Without showing, don't you use for these ones for essays, but for MCQs, directly remember this equation and apply. So what is it? 2 times 10 over 10. The time taken, total time is 2 seconds. How high the ball travels? That is S equals ut plus half at square. You have to use, right, for the essay, right? Okay, 10 minus 5. Thing MCQ එකට මම මොකක්ද කරන්න කිව්වේ? MCQ වලට ඔයාලා පාවිච්චි කරන්න පුළුවන් basic. What is it? U square over 2g. 100 එතකොට මේකෙන් කැප්ලා යනවා 10යි 10 දෙකෙන් බෙදපුවාම 5 meter. MCQ technique එක දෙක. හරිනේ? Remember all this. Right. A football is kicked straight up at an inertial velocity of 12 ms minus 1. It is caught again after 2.2 seconds. This is something I have to explain you slowly. මට හිතෙනවා මේක slowly කරොත් හොඳයි කියලා. Because this is something trickier. සමහර ලස්සනට මේක වරද්දලා තිබුණා, ගොඩ දෙනෙක් හොඳට අරන් තිබුණා. A football is kicked at a straight up at initially is 12 ms minus 1 and it caught again after 2.2 seconds. Right. So it has this type of projection. Goes up and it projected at t equals 0. Caught up at here, the height is something and it moves down with some velocity, something. Only thing you know is gravity downwards. And it reached the maximum of u. You don't want to worry about all of this. What was the final velocity of the football? Right. So people imagine it like this way. Firstly, they think the time taken for it to reach here. And they find. And again find the velocity, what would it may take by subtracting. It's a very long path. නිකන් පිස්සු හැදෙන path එකක්. So never do it like that. Apply to the basic equation v equals u plus at. It returns definitely. It goes up and return. Forget about it. වැඩක් නෑනේ. Initial, final is this one. Return the කෙලින් යනවාද කියන එක අදාළ නෑ. So it doesn't matter. V equals u is what? 12 against gravity, so I have to minus like minus 10 times 1.2. Time is like what? Sorry, oh my god, no, 2.2. You may get the velocity like 12 minus 22. V is what? Minus 10 ms minus 1. Why the heck did I get minus? Because it is downwards. Previously you sent upward. This is your positive direction. When something comes down, it is going to be in the negative direction. That's why it starts stays minus 10 ms minus 1. Minus 10 ms minus 1 stands for the object is actually at this moment moving downward. Got that point? එක තේරුණාද? නැත්නම් කියන්න? If anybody who couldn't understand this part, just let me know. කාට හරි මේක තේරුන්නේ නැත්නම් මට කියන්න පුතේ. තේරුණාද? මම ඔයාලට කියන්න ටයිම් එකකුත් දෙනවා තේරුන්නේ නැත්නම්. Got it. ඇති. Got it නම් එච්චරයි. තේරුන්නේ නැති කෙනකින් තමයි මම මේ අහන්නේ. තේරුන්නේ නැත්නම් නෑ කියන්න. හරි. At what height the ball was caught? Okay. බලමු height is equals to ut plus half at square, right? I will replace with h equals u is like 12 times 2.2 minus half times 10 times 2.2 square. හරි. මට ඉතින් මේ වැඩේට මගේ කැල්කියුලේටර් රාජ්‍යය පාවිච්චි කරනවා. මොකද බොරු කාලයක් යන නිසා නැත්තම්. 12 times 2.2 මට එනවා මෙතන 26.4 කියලා. හරි. 5 times 2.2 square. Oh, shit, no. මීටර් 2.2ක් උඩදී අල්ලලා තියෙන්නේ. හරි නේද? ළමයි තේරුණාද? Okay. ඉතින් බය නැතුව මෙන්න මේ equations වලට දාන ළමයි that is moving under acceleration. හරිද ළමයි? Got this point or not? Wow. මේක ටිකක් හිතන්න වටන එකක් අක්කා. This is something for you to think. A ball is released from an elevator moving with an acceleration of 2 ms minus 2. What is the acceleration of the ball after release from the elevator? Release from the elevator. හිතන්න දෙයක් නෑ. මහලුකු දෙයක් නෑ. It was accelerating upward with 3 ms minus 2 under the effect of the elevator, right? Once you release outside or inside the stuff as well, inside the elevator even, once you release, it is moving under gravity. So the acceleration is gravity, nothing other than that. And it was moving upwards, so it's going to be negative g against the direction of the inertial motion. තේරුම් ගන්න ඕනේ. ඒක නිකන් ගාණක් හදන්න කියලා දෙයක් නෑ. There is nothing for you to construct. It is just your basic pretty understanding. Why? Why? Oh my God, කිව්වේ. අතෑරියා. ඔයාව ලිෆ්ට් එකේ යන ගමන් කවුරු හරි ඔයාව තල්ලු කරා. හරිනේ ඊට ඉන්නකෝ මට මේකේ ආන්සර් බලන්න මොකද්ද ලියලා තියෙන්නේ කියලා පරයක්ද oh my god කියන තරම් මොකද්ද ලියලා තියෙන්නේ කියලා බලමු මේ ළමයා මට ඒක හදලා තියෙන විදිය බලන්න ආසයි කොහොමද මේ කරලා තියෙන්නේ කියලා මට එයාගේ ආන්සර් ෂීට් එක විතරයි මට චෙක් කරන්න බැරි වුණේ මේ වෙනකම් වරක් වුණ නිසා මට ඔන් කරන්න හිතුන්නේ මුල් ටික නම් හොඳයි මමුත් ඉතින් මදි කම්මැලි කමින් වැඩ කරලා තියෙන්නේ ඈ what the heck you left it නේ එයා හදලා නැහැ හරි let me check that in Sydney's one මම ඔක්කොම දැන් චෙක් කරනවා මට මේ අන්තිමට එවපු එකෙක්වත් මම චෙක් කරේ නෑ මම බැලුවේවත් නෑ Sydney එකේ දැන් තමයි මම ඕපන් කරලා බලන්නේ මම එහෙම බලන්නේ නෑ මම අන්තිමට එවන ඒවා මොකද තේරුමක් නෑ මුල් අයගේ නම් මම බැලුවා අඩුපාඩු එහෙමත් බැලුවා හොඳයි wow රිලීස් කරාට පස්සේ 3 කියලා ලියලා නියමයි හරි කොහොම කරන්න එපා ඉතින් යා මුලින් ඉඳන් එවන ළමයින්ගේ මම බලනවා හැමෝගෙම බලනවා මට වෙලාවක් නෑ මාක් කරන්න ඒකයි මාක් කරන්න නැත්තේ ඔයාලා අන්තිමට එවද්දි මම බලන්නේ නැහැ අන්තිමට ඉතින් කොහොම හරි එවන්න මොකද ඒක බැලුවේ නැතත් ඔයාලට හොඳයිනේ තමන් කරලා නේදම ගානේ මම ඕපන් කරේවත් නැහැ සිත්මිගේ නෙත්මිගේ ෆයිල් දෙක හැමෝටම තේරුණාද අයියේ කියලා once you just release that means no other force is applying it doesn't matter whether it was just moving under 3ms minus 2 before now it is not under the influence of the elevate any longer මේ හැම ප්‍රශ්නයක්ම ඔයාලට ළමයි නිකන් තියරි එක ටිප් টොප් වෙන්න කව වෙන්න හදලා තියෙන්නේ මගේ සාමාන්‍යම ප්‍රශ්න ටික කරා කියන හොඳටම ඇති මම ඒකයි මිඩ් වීක් එකට පන්නන්නේ අනිත් ඒවා නිකන් ජොලියට දෙන ඒවා ඕන්නම් හදන්න නැත්තම් එපා කියලා in my normal tutes you may find some of those questions really lower than the exam level and some of those questions extremely above the exam level in midweek worksheets really tallying with the exam level right to show you the way so why it is in minus g because at the beginning it had an acceleration of 3 in this direction that is the inertial direction it was considered like positive once you release it's moving under an acceleration in the next direction so you are not in my class before I explained the others once you choose something you can taken back that means you can never just change your direction if you want to move backward again you have to still look at that direction and do what just drag yourself back like this so it will add you a negative sign because to make the direction to the same side because you can't change the direction you can only do backward motion so it is known as a negative sign application so I explained this once a long time ago you weren't there at the time okay so the gravity so the direction is now is minus g okay find the height of the balloon when the balloon is ascending with the vertical velocity of 10 ms minus 1 at a certain height of h it was ascending with, the balloon was ascending with what? Nattal siyage baluma. 10 ms minus 1. Certain height. The pebble falls from it is reaching to the ground in 5 seconds. Find the height of the balloon when the pebble is released from the balloon. Hari. Okay. Hitan nepa vadiya. Hitan nepa vadiya. Imagine you are on the top of building. Slab එකක් උඩ ඉන්නවා. Now you just throw something upwards with the total height is exactly the same with the velocity of initial velocity of 10 ms minus 1. Then now the balloon is also moving with the velocity of 10 ms minus 1 and a pebble is going to drop from this one. Aren't these two phenomena the same? මේ දෙකම සමාන නැද්ද? හරියටම බිල්ඩින් එකක් උඩ ඉඳගෙන 10 h මේ උසම තියෙන එකක් උඩ ඉඳගෙන 10 ms minus 1 උඩින් රිලීස් කරනවා. Now the balloon was traveling at the time when the pebble was released. Can you remember that my train story? That in that train story I said that the Tangachi thingy and other stuff. So in the train story thingy that I told you, I was just about to catch certain tree and all of a sudden I was all about to rust out of the train and I survived. So can you remember? Like the same way, because why? I had the speed of the train itself. Like the same way, this pebble had the speed of this one. The pebble is just initially moving upwards with 10 ms minus 1. මේ කතන්දර දෙකම එක වගේ කියලා හිතෙන්නේ නැද්ද? එක මේ බිල්ඩින් එක අයිනෙන් මේ යද්දි මේ pebble එකක් රිලීස් වෙනවා. ඒත් එක්කම ඔයා ගහනවා උඩට ගලක් 10 වලින්. මේ දෙක මෙහෙම උඩට යනවානේ. ගිහලා ආයෙත් පල්ලයට එනවා. මෙයත් එමේ උඩට යනවා පල්ලයට. In the same way, both of the objects just begin to move upwards and reach the maximum height, just drop. This one also reach maximum height and drops downwards. Isn't that going to happen? එහෙම නෙමෙයිද? මේක මෙයාට සමාන කරලා බලන්න. Just equal this phenomena exactly equals to this one. Can you understand? Can you understand this logic? ළමයි මේ logic එක ඔලුවට ගන්න ඕනේ. Without getting the logic into your head, you will be not successful. I can just explain this calculation within 2 minutes, but without the concept. I may show you all the steps. Yes, you see the steps. That's it. But you don't get the concept. That's really. Can you explain once more, please? Ha ha ha. Hiyo. I will explain you. I will explain you. I will explain you. කෙනෙක්ට හරි තේරුම් නැත්නම් ඒක මට අඩුවක්. I'll explain. චලක ඔයා නම් සද්දයක්වත් නැහැ. ඔයාලා තේරෙනවද දන්නේ නැහැ මේවා. ඔයා මේ ෆිසික්ස් කලින් කරපු ළමෙක් නෙමෙයි. මේ කරපු ළමයිනුත් අහනවා කොහොමද සර් මේක වුනේ කියලා. චලක ඉන්නවද චලක? චලක නැද්ද මන්? චලකයා නැහැ නේ. ඉන්නවා. JK චලක. කවුද මිසින් වෙලා තියෙන්නේ? මේ දැන් විනාඩිය කලින් 16ක් කියලා දැන් 14ක් වෙලා කවුද? මේ ළමයි එක්ක නම් බෑ. Let me come back into physical board and let me explain you. This is something you have to understand your concept really well. Otherwise, you won't be able to understand any of this. All right. Remember, I was explaining something here. have a really good look at. Arne, have a really good look at. A balloon was ascending that was just above the earth with a height of h, and the balloon was ascending at the time with initial velocity of 10 ms minus 1, that is upward. Hari. Imagine this marker pen is the balloon and this duster is the what? Pebble. While it was moving from here, it's going to just release now. See? Now the balloon will keep moving upward, but this one will have to fall back. On the balloon, balloon will be keep moving, but this one will fall down. Right? If you don't understand, don't try this. Don't try this. But imagine a time when you are riding a foot cycle. Cycle like try motorbike or try karne. So when you're riding a cycle, if you all of a sudden drop out of the cycle, jump out of the cycle, how would you just fall? Will you fall on the spot where you just left the bicycle, or will you get projected forward? මෙහෙම ඉස්සරහට ගිහිල්ලා වැටෙනවද මෙතනම පල්ලෙහාට වැටෙනවද? බයිසිකලෙන් පැනනත් යන ගමන්. ඔක බස් එකක ගිහින් වුඩ් බෝඩ් එකේ යන ගමන් පැනනම ඔක හොඳට තේරෙනවා. මට කියන්න බෑ. Where would you get fallen? Yanba, let me know. How the missing line is there? What double? Sahas missing again. Sahas missing, Ratali missing. But here, now this pebble is going to make a motion, something like this, and fell down. Can you understand? At the same moment, you are in the edge of a certain building, going to throw something upwards, the same height, with a velocity of, initial velocity of 10 ms minus 1, which is upward. The ball will reach the same height like of this one and will fall down. Isn't that the same phenomena? Isn't that the same phenomena? Yes or no? Just let me know. Just tell me whether it is yes or no. Yes. If that is yes, let's do the calculation. Right, let's do the calculation. So in this case, what I have to do is consider this motion somewhat like this. You began to move from a certain height of h, your initial height. It may take certain path like this and fell down. Initial motion is like u upward 10 ms minus 1. This may reach to some maximum height h max at here v equal to 0, and it comes down with a velocity of v, we don't know, but the acceleration
is always 10 ms minus 2. There is a negative component because the initial velocity was positive, right? Initial velocity was positive. So what does it ask? Find the height of the balloon when the pebble was released from the right. In 5 seconds. It was just reaching to the ground within 5 seconds. Equals 5. We don't know this factor. So only thing you have is in this one, time. You have initial velocity, you have the acceleration, you have. The next thing they ask is height. S, you don't know. So what are the factors? S equals to ut plus half at square. This is the only equation that's going to deal with. So the initial height, you don't know, right? It has just reached, because the positive direction, it was just moving in a positive direction. It was moving in a certain positive direction before. Now this height is going to be a negative factor for the considering the initial direction. This is what negative h plus 10 times 5 minus, again because the gravity is downward, half times 10 times 5 square. Okay, my dear. 50 minus 25 times 10 is 250, 125. H is equals what? Negative 75 meters. That means it was just above the ground somewhat. It is 75 meters above. Right? Polotoda Adihatta meters. Sorry. Can you understand? Or still don't understand? Good. Harini? A ball is thrown vertically from a ground. Am I recording? Yeah, I'm recording. The ball is thrown vertically from a ground at a velocity of 30 ms minus 1. When another ball is dropped along the same line simultaneously, top of the tower 120 meters high, right? Find the time when the two balls meet and where do they meet? හරි. හොඳට හිතලා හදන්න ඕන එක. This is something really going to be extremely challenging. Huh? This is something like extreme challenging one if you don't understand the concept. Hari. ඕකම මම repeat කරලා ගන්නම්. Keep one above the other. මට අවශ්‍ය වෙලාවට මම move කරන්න. There is another one. Wait, what? What the heck? Yeah, have a good look at. Now a ball thrown vertically from the ground. This is the ground, nah? The ground. Vertically from the ground. At what? U equals 30 ms minus 1 in the positive direction. And when another ball drop along the same line, 120 meter height, find the time when those two balls meet. Right, have a look at. This may just move downward with an acceleration. This is moving under certain acceleration downwards. Meanwhile, other one just moving slowly and reach here because it's slow down. Right? This one may reach to here while they are just colliding. So I'm going to consider this height as h. I'll consider this height as h. So could I consider this one as h2? No, my dear. For class students, I use like d1, d2 and r1, r2. But here I have to use what? 100 minus h, because in an equation, even in a simultaneous equation, you might not be able to solve something with two unknown factors. So always reduce something to one unknown factor. When the two balls meet. So not 100, it's like 120, sorry. 120 minus h when the two balls meet. T equals to some time of t, because both the phenomena were taking place at t equals to 0, t equal to 0, and it meet at the same time. It left the same time, it is going to meet at the same time. Same time. Right. How? Because you can just do this question within one step. It is not a single step question, because both the stuff were just moving under two different conditions, right? How to understand that? Get the point? So one is accelerating downwards, other one is decelerating upwards. And I forgot to add this data. U equals 0 for this one. This one is, and the velocity was something like v, I don't know, and don't need to consider. Okay, no need to consider about that one. So only thing you need to consider is, what is it? The height. Actually, you don't know. Only thing you know is the time is going to be the same, right? Understand that? So how do I get this one? I will just consider this like, I can apply this equation like S equals to ut plus half AT square downwards. Sahas joined, no? Sahas. That's the downward motion. I may apply it like this. What is the height? It is like 120 minus h equals to u is 0, half g t square. Number 1. You won't get any answer because there are 2 unknown factors. This g is like 10. I may write 10 t square. So I may use it like 5 now. 120 minus h equals to 5 t square for the first one. For the downward motion. That's the only thing I can get from there. Okay. So how about the other one? Other one is just moving upwards with the height of h equals to 30 t minus 5t square. Right. Number 2. In this equation, what do they ask actually? They are asking time, not the height. So I have to put this time into height into there. That's a simple thing. Equation number 2 into equation number 1. So simultaneous equation solution. 120 minus, what is that height? 30t. From here, wait, 30t minus 5t square equals to the right hand side of this one, 5t square. Right. Now it is going to be something really going to be challenging. This one is going to there. So 120 equals to minus 30t wait. It is 120 minus h, it is the height moving downwards. Something went wrong. Give me a 1 minute. This one actually moving downwards. The first one. What is the height? 120 minus h. The upward part is what? Just h. Right? The upward part is just h. While the other one is minus h. Got the point? So the directionality has to also be considered here. In the first one, I didn't consider about the directionality. Now I have to consider the directionality as well. Okay. So let me read the question again. One, the ball thrown vertically from the ground at 30 ms minus 1. And when another ball is dropped from the same line, simultaneously from the top of the tower, 120 meters height, find the time. Yeah, let me get it. So the height factor is 120 minus h equals to ut, u is 0, only I will write 5 t square number 1. This one is h equals to what, 30t minus 5t square number 2. Going to substitute it to here, this one. In this one, you may see once I apply, yeah, I was right in the previous time. 30t minus 5t square equals to 5t square again. So what is my final thingy here? This one goes to there, 120 minus 30t minus 10t square, right? This is how it is going to come, right? So now you can solve this using regular methods. Why? You can solve this using regular methods because you have to go for basics. 12 minus 3t minus t square equals 0. So now you can solve actually. Why? It is what is it called? Quadratic equation. This is now a quadratic equation. Are you aware of solving these quadratic equations? How to solve the quadratic equation? Do you have the basic knowledge of solving quadratic equations? මේක මතක නැත්නම් කියන්න. Quadratic equation වල අපිට කරන්න පුළුවන් තව ගොඩක් දේවල් තියෙනවා. මෙතනදී unknown fact එක මෙයන්නේ. So එකක අපිට ABC කියලා factor තුනක් අරගෙන යන්න පුළුවන් අර normal equation එකට දාලා. නමුත් තව ක්‍රමයක් තියෙනවා. In solving quadratic equations, you have to multiply these two numbers together. Right? So it is going to be something like what? When you get it altered, you will get it like t square plus 3t minus 12 equals to 0. So this is something like what? X square plus or minus nx plus or minus see something. No. So it is something similar to that. So how to solve? Here you have to multiply these two factors together and obtain certain number. When you multiply that one, you will get 12t square. So you have to detach this number. You have to detach. Right? How to detach? Detach and obtain certain number. The multiple should give this one. The multiple should give this one. And the addition should give what? 3t. Right. How to get it? How to get it? 12 addition, and actually it is not seeming to be enough, because normally 12 you can make 12 using what? You can make 12 by means of what? 3 times 4. 3 times 4. The multiple should give negative 12. Negative 12 means positive 4 multiplied by negative 3. This is the sample you may get. Positive 4 multiplied by negative 3. Right? Positive 4 multiplied by negative 3. Now I have to use these numbers like this way. T square, what? Plus 40 minus 3t minus 12. Right. I'm going to get 2t out. What is it going to be now? T times t plus 40. And the other one, what is it going to be? I'm going to get the negative 3 out. So minus 3 times what? T minus t plus 4. Because I just let the negative 3 out of both. So I may get what? 3 minus t minus 3 times t minus t plus 4 equals to 0. So either what? T equals to 3 or t equals to negative 4. So here, what is my answer should be? Should my answer be negative? Can my answer be negative? Here my answer is negative and bad. My answer cannot be negative. Have to remember that. My answer cannot be negative. So I have to choose the positive answer because time cannot flow backward. So the time is going to be 3 seconds. හරි. මෙන්න මේ process එක තේරුම් නැති කවුරු හරි ඉන්නවා නම් මගෙන් අහන්න මම කියලා දෙන්නම්. Is there anybody who doesn't know what is this process it is? කවුරු හරි ඉන්නවා නම් මගෙන් අහන්න මගේ මේ voice එක lag වෙලා දැනෙන්නේ කියන්න. මට නිකන් එහෙම හිතෙනවා මම ලියපු ඒවා මට පව් වෙලා මේකේ පේන්නේ. I see my writings just few time lagging. Is my voice also lagging? Now I'm going to draw a line. See? It's simultaneous, no? Right. Guys, can you understand how did I separate this one? මම මේක separate කරලා ගත්ත විදිය තේරුම් නැති කෙනෙක් ඉන්නවා නම් අහන්න මම ගලක් දවස් ගානක් තිස්සේ කියලා දුන්නේ මේ ඔය පොසිටිව් නෙගටිව් කතන්දරය ඔයාලට කියලා දෙන්න ඕනේ කියලා. Understood. Good. ඔක තේරුම් නැත්නම් කියන්න මම ආපහු physical board එකට ඇවිල්ලාම හරි කියලා දෙන්නම්. ඔක ගොඩ දෙනෙක් වරද්දලා තිබුණා එකයි. මට ලස්සනට මේ වරද්දලා තිබුණා කට්ටිය. ආයිත් ඉතින් අමුතු ආන්සර්ස් අරන් පොසිටිව් නෙගටිව් අමතක කරලා කපලා දාලා ලස්සනට වරද්දලා තිබුණා. මට ඉතින් දුකේ බෑ. D1 D2 පවා වරද්දලා තිබුණා. මම D1 උත් වරද්දලා තිබුණා වගේ මතක නැහැ. එහෙම නේද අමයි? ගොඩ දෙනෙක් වරද්දලා තිබුණා. දැන් හිතා ගන්න පුළුවන්ද? Yeah, you can add the equations to remove as well. You can add the equation to remove as well. But somehow you get what? You get this quadratic equation you can't avoid. It's like KGF. In that KGF movie, I can't avoid. That's how he said it. ඔව් මේ ගානේ මේ පොඩි අර printing mistake එකකින් 120 ඇවිල්ලා තියෙන්නේ නේ. එහෙම කේස් එකක් තියෙනවා. හරි නේද? හරි. මම මේ වගේම තව ගානක් දෙන්නම්. හරි ගස් හදමුද? කියන්නකෝ. ඔක නිකන් තේරුම් ගන්නත් එක්ක මම ගානක් දෙන්නම්. ලියන්න. A ball was released from a height of 300 meters. A ball was released from a height of 300 meters. A ball was released from a height of 300 meters. New one. අලුත් ගානක්. A ball was released from a height of 300 meters. මාව ඇහෙනවද? Ball was released from a 300 meters. එහෙම නැත්නම් අපිට ඔක ගන්න පුළුවන් ටෙරරිස්ට් කෙනෙක් බෝම්බයක් දානවා මීටර් 300ක් උඩ ඉඳන් හෙලිකොප්ටර් එකක ඉඳන්. එහෙම හිතමුකෝ. එහෙමත් ගන්න පුළුවන්. And a boy shot a bullet at 100 ms minus 1 at 100 ms minus 1 at 100 ms minus 1 towards the above ball. The above ball. U of 100 ms minus 1. The above ball. Right. Question number 1. Find out the time taken for both the balls to hit against each other. Sorry, both the objects to hit against each other. Find out the height. Find out the height of the object from the ground. Find out the height of the object from the ground. At the moment of collision. At the moment of collision. Next one is find out the velocities of the ball and the bullet. V ball and V bullet. Right. ටක් ගාලා දුන්න. මේ ගණන් හරි අමාරුයි. හරියට තේරුම් ගත්තේ නැත්නම් ඇති දෙයක් නෑ. නමුත් ඔගේ mathematical applications කරන හින්දා ළමයින්ට ටිකක් අමාරුයි වගේ දැනෙයි. ඇති දෙයක් නෑ නැත්නම්. Right. Try this. Oh, wait. Yeah, Sahas, you are just suggesting something like in 3 seconds, the upward object will reach the maximum height of 45 meters, and at the same time, the free fall from one also reach the 45 meters, although they won't meet. Yeah, your logic is really right. So that means I might have done something wrong in the previous calculation. ළමයි පොඩ්ඩක් අර කලින් එකට යන් මෙයාගේ ලොජික් එක හරි මම මොකක් හරි මිස් කරලා තියෙනවා වගේ. Sahas is just talking about something. Right? Yeah, එයාගේ ලොජික් එක හරිනේ. මොකද මේ තප්පර 3ක් අවසාන වෙද්දී මෙයා පල්ලෙහාට වැටෙන්නේ මීටර 45යි. මෙයා උඩට යන්නේ 45යි. ඔව්. ඒතර 120ක ગેප් එකක් තියෙනවනේ. 90යි යන්නේ. ඒතර වදින්නේ නෑනේ. ඔව්. Yeah. His interrogation was really right. අනිත් කට්ටියට මේක හිතුන්නේ නැද්ද? මට හිතුනේත් නෑ එකපාරට. I didn't even thought of that. I didn't even thought of that. He was really dead right. Because see, where miss වෙලා තියෙනවා? H. Then in the first equation, yeah. In the second equation, it's also right. Oh my God. I have made some terrible mistake here. See, this is going to be negative, and I have forgotten that. This is going to be positive. This is also going to be positive because this negative sign, I just forgot. It's my mistake, bad mistake. Both positive, this t square and this t square cancel. So actually we don't want to go for any quadratic equation solution. Right? කොහොමරි ඔයාලට quadratic equation එකක් solve කරන්න හැටි කියලා දුන්නා වැරදිලා හරි. We don't want to do. But by mistake I told you the way how to solve a quadratic equation. Here no need to go for quadratic. See? කැපිලා යනවා. So 5t square and minus is going to be minus, and 120 equals to 33, and t is what? 4 seconds. Time එක 4 seconds. මගේ අතින් පොඩි වැරද්දක් වෙලා තියෙනවා. හරි. It's 4 seconds. Previously මේ කොහොම හරි ඔයාලට quadratic equation එක වැරදිලා කියලා දුන්නේ. ඒකට යන්න ඕන උනේත් නෑ. It was my mistake there. Hurry. Anyway, now try this question. Am I lagging? Am I lagging, Lamai? Am I lagging? Because what I'm drawing, I can see is still drawing on the surface. Lamai, just let me know whether am I lagging. මාව ලැග් වෙලාද ඇහෙන්නේ? Little bit. Okay. එහෙනම් මම network එක ගැන වෙනස් කරන්න ඕන ළමයි. If my voice is lagging, just let me know because I have to change the network connection then. විනාඩියක් දෙන්න ඒක වෙනස් කරන්න එන. ප්‍රයක් දෙන්න. මට නිකන් මේ ලියනේවා පහුවෙලා පේනවා වගේ තමයි දැක්කේ. Give me a second. දැන් මට ලැග් වෙනවද කියලා බලන්න. Check, am I lagging? Check now, am I lagging now? No, ne? Right, good. Good, no, good. Right. සහස්ගේ ප්‍රශ්නේ ඇහුවේ නැත්නම් එහෙම තව පොඩ්ඩෙන් මේ අර ප්‍රශ්නේ තත්පර තුනේ කතාව යනවා. නමුත් ඉතින් එතන කෝඩ් ටික එකට යන්න ඕනුන්නේ නැහැ. අර පොසිටිව් නෙගටිව් සයින් එක මම අමතක කරලා ගිහිල්ලා තිබුණා. See, can you imagine if you make one negative sign a mistake, the same mistake carry forward and you will get a bizarre answer. Bizarre answer. So have to be really careful about that. Okay. Now, did you find this one? Mega Hadward? Let me කොහෙද ළමයෝ දුවන්නේ? Did you try this question? හරි මේක හැදුවද? The similar type of question. This one drops down and this one leaves up for the first part. How about this motion? In this part it's like 300 minus h. Sorry, this is just h. So you may just write the equation s equals ut plus half at square again. This is what 300 minus h equals 0. So I can write like directly 5t square. Number one. For the second part, h equals what? 100t minus 5t square. Number 2. You may add the equations 1 and 2 together. මේ දෙක add කරන්න පුළුවන්. කැපිලා යනවනේ. Positive h and negative h. 300 equals to what? 100t and 100t. This is going to be plus t square and minus 5t square. These two cancel off each other. So the finally you may get what time as 3 seconds. ලස්සනට එනවා නේද උත්තරේ? ලස්සනට එනවා උත්තරේ. Right. And what is the height? So you may add to the simplest equation. So t into equation number 2, you may get the height like what? 100 into 3 minus 5 into 9. 300 minus 45. What is 300 minus 45? 255 meters. හරි මීටර 255ක් උඩදී තමයි වදින්නේ. හරිනේ? Somebody seem to be like sending me the answer. කවුරු හරි එවනවා මට answer එකක්. බලන්න. Good. Yeah, good. Your answer is really good. මෙන්න මේ සිත්නි තමයි මම දැකලා පුරුදු සිත්නි. So in the last few weeks you were not there, you were really absent. So now this is how the real Sydney. And what about the velocities? What about the velocity factor? Downward velocity of the first object is going to be v equals to u plus at. You may add velocity downward is like 0 plus 10 times 3. It's like v1 is 30 ms minus 1. And for the second one, bullet, v equals to u plus at, still you can apply. So what is it going to be? V equals like 100 minus 10 times 3 is like v is like 70 ms minus 1. That's how it is. හරි ඔන්න ආන්සර්ස් ටික ආවා. ඔන්න දැන් ඒ කියන්නේ අර කලින් වගේම උඩයට මාරු වෙන ගානක් හදාගන්න බැරි වෙන එකක් නෑ දැන්. I think you can calculate such a calculation. So ඒක තේරෙන්නේ නැදින්නේ. Let me give you another calculation for you to try. Right. Try this one. An object was thrown with the velocity of 50 meters per second from a drone which was hovering above somewhat 120 meters from the ground, hovering above some 120 meters from the ground. 50 ms minus 1. Right? Find out the time taken for the ball to reach the ground. මෙයා උඩ ගිහිල්ලා ආවෝ මෙ වැටෙනවා. T equals question mark. Question number 2. First one is the time. Question number 2. Find out the speed of the ball when hitting the ground. When hitting the ground. Right. Takda karan. හගම ඉක්මන් කරන්න පැය දෙකක් දැන්ටම ගිහිල්ලා තියෙන්නේ. ඇතිද time තව ඕනේද? Do you need more time or the time is enough? Cannot be, the answer cannot be this simple. හොඳට හිතලා බලන්න කොහේ හරි වරද්දලා තියෙනවා. Need more time. Okay, I'll give you more time. Don't worry. හදලා ඉවරයි නම් දාන්න. කොහොම ඉතින් මගේ හොඳම හමුදාව ඉන්නවනේ නේද? DII SII ඉන්නවනේ. දැන් අලුතෙන්ම හමුදා සමාජිකයා කවුද? T තව ඕනේද පුතාලා ටයිප්? ඇතිද තව ඕනේද? කියන්න. හදාගන්න බැර නම් ඉතින් ඒත් ඉතින් තේරුම් ගන්න නැහැ මම කොච්චර වෙලාවද? If you can't figure it out, it doesn't matter how long I am just allowing you to be. කට්ටියම වැරදීද මන්දා. හරි. ආන්සර්ස් නම් එනවා. නෙට්මිකින් එනවා. හරි කමක් නැහැ. මම හදන්නම්. Stuff seems to be really close. Hurry. Hurry. Have a good look at. What did I say? There was a drone which is some 300 meters above the ground. 300 meters. From there, my maybe makanna. I will just explain the ultimate simplifications here. The mechanism to be explained should be explained in the interactive board, right? That's the best way. Not the drawn thingy. Drawn thingy I explained. This is like an object just move upwards and just come down. Hi. Have a good look at here. So you can do it this in two ways. One is considering this direction as positive, this direction as positive, and this direction as negative. Or you may get this one as positive and the other direction as negative. So I will teach you in the left hand side method and the right hand side method as well. In the left hand side method, my positive direction is here. So what can I use? I have the details like what? U is there, S is there, and A is there. Time is a question mark. S equals to ut plus half at square is the equation that you have to apply. So my direction is a negative one. $50 and minus 5t square. I will just directly apply. Yeah, 5t square. These ones may move towards each other and finally make 5t square minus 50t minus 120 equals to 0. Right. This is in the left hand side method. In the right hand side, you may get what? In the right hand side. What about in the right hand side? In the right hand side, I consider this one as the positive. 120 equals to u is a negative one, negative 50t, and what? Plus half, sorry, 5t square. So you may get the final answer like the same way, 5t square minus 50t minus 120 equals to 0. Understand? This is how it is. Somehow you get the same answer again and again. Right? So let me explain you how to solve this in the quadratic equation form. 5t square minus 50t minus 120 equals 0. Right? Right. Have a look at here. So this is the equation. So if you have forgotten your O-level knowledge, you have to multiply these two together and get this result. What? So wait. This is like a very big one. So we can divide both sides by 5. Here by 5, 5, and 5. So we make it like t square minus 10t minus what? 24 equals to 0. Otherwise, it's going to be really big deal. So multiply these two together. Multiply. And what is your answer? 24 t square is the product of these two. And you have to separate this to certain two numbers to add something to give you what? 10t minus 10t as the final answer. Right? What numbers will add? 24. How would you get 24? then it should be minus 24 to negative 24. How do you get? Because you may get like 12 times 2. That means negative 12 times positive 2. So you may write like this way. T square minus 12t, right? Plus 2t minus 24. Right. Here you may get the number out. What are you going to get out? T out. T minus 12. Here you may get the positive 2 out. So 2 times T minus 12. Right. 2 minus 12. This is how you separate. Can you tell me whether you understand these steps? මට මේ මැත්ස් එක කියලා දෙන්නේ මම දන්නවා මැත්ස් නැතුව ගලක් කට්ටිය හිර වෙනවා. මැත්ස් හොඳටම පුළුවන් කෙනාට මේක විහිළුවක් වගේ ඇති. But the other ones? Okay. Right. Now you may get the final thingy. It's a positive thingy. One is what? One answer is T minus 12 times T plus 2. So equals to 0. So that means T minus 12 should be equals to 0 or T plus 2 should be equals to 0. So you may get the answers like T equals to 12 or T equals to minus 2. You are just going to cancel this off. So your answer is 12. Harne? Can you understand that? Can you understand the process? Hari. Mang apa mara board eකට ගිහිලත් කරන්න. Somebody may understand that board method more than this one. Right? So let me solve this question now, sit. Let me do this again. So what I firstly do is divide all by 5 and get this one t square minus 10t minus 24, right, equals to 0. So you have to get these two numbers multiplied together and get multiply and get the result like 24 t square by multiplying. And you have to separate this and your addition should be equals to minus 10 addition. How to get negative 24? You may get negative 12 times positive 2. So your answer going to be t square minus 12t plus 2t minus 24. Now I am going to detach it from here and deal it with like t times t minus what? 12, and from this side 2 times t minus 12. So positive. So what can I do? T minus 12 times T plus 2 equals to 0. According to this one, either T minus 12 should be equal to 0 or T plus 2 should be equal to 0. So from this one, T is equals to minus 12 or plus 12 or T equals to minus 2. You can get the answer of minus. You can get, so T equals 12 seconds. Hari neda? Hamodatama therunane? Hamodatama therunada? Does everybody understand this? Sorry. Next question was asked, was the velocity? The final velocity. What can I do for the final velocity? I can use this two. V equals U plus AT. V is like, I don't know, U is like what? Thrown upwards. With what is the initial velocity? It's like 50 ms minus 1. So 50 minus, what is it? 10 times 12, like negative 70 ms minus 1. That means it is moving downwards. Harne? ඕන් ඒක ටික ඔක්කොම අද කියලා දුන්නා. මම එක දෙයක් කියනවා. මේක ලියා ගන්න හදිස්සි වෙන්න එපා. මම PDF එක දානවා ඔයාලට. So I'm going to send you the PDF, so nothing to worry about. So මම කියනවා මේක ඕන වෙන්නේ නැහැයි කියලා. No need to know. Need. But in term test, Sakabum tama. Sakabum. So have to know. But in A level, no. But in term test, yes. තේරුණාද? ඒ හින්දා දැනගෙන ඉන්න. term test වල වගේ දානවා. A level වලට නම් පුතේ දාන්නේ නැහැ. හරි. interval එකක් අරන් එන්න වැඩි වෙලා ගන්න එපා. විනාඩි 15ක අරන් එන්න. ඒ කියන්නේ 11:05 විද්දි එන්න. හරිද? හැමෝටම වුණාද මම මේ කියපු එක? 11:05 විද්දි එන්න. හරි. මම තියරි එක නිකන් රෆ්ලි අද කියලා දීලා යවන්නම්. මොකද මේ ගණන් ටික හදන හැටි කියලා දෙන්න ඕන වුණා මට ඊට වඩා. මියුට් කරලා දාලා ගිහින් එන්න. හරි. Lamai, can you hear what I said? I said take an interval of 15 minutes and just come back. ඇහුණාද හැමෝටම? ටක් ගාලා මෙසේජ් එකක් දාන්න හැමෝටම ඇහුණා? Biggest problem is for those who not in the group, because I directly send the group message to the group. Others may not get the. හැමෝටම ඇහුණා නම් දාන්න මෙතන group එකේ විශේෂයෙන්ම නැති කට්ටිය. හරි.